Hi guys, this is Clivey again, your calculator technique tutor. So right now, this is actually the part two of our depreciation topic. So I'm gonna teach you on how to check book value, depreciation charge, and then depreciation rate in an easy way using your FX 991 ES Plus. This is actually a shortcut of checking the depreciation charge. So right now, let's go ahead and solve the examples. By the way, these examples came out in the board exam, so hopefully this would be helpful to you guys. All right, let's go ahead and move on with our first example. Let me just set it up. Okay. So an asset is purchased for 500,000. The salvage value in 25 years is 100,000. What are the depreciation in the first 3 years using a straight line method? Okay. So what we're gonna do, guys, make sure that it's in mode 1, your calculator. The next is we're gonna store 500,000, which is the cost in RA. All right, that's 500,000. Shift store A. I would rather use A and B, guys, to make it more easier and to not complicate things. But it's up to you. You can use X, you can use M, F, E, D, C. It's up to you. But for me, I would just like to use A and B to make it more simple. All right, so I've stored it in A. So right now I'm gonna store the cost minus the salvage value minus the years, divided by the years. Again, the cost minus the salvage values divided by the year in B. So the cost is 500,000. It's gonna be minus 100,000. So that's gonna be 400,000 divided by 25. So we have 16,000. So we're gonna save that in our B value. So that's gonna be shift store B. Then just hit AC. Now let's go to mode 7, which is our table. So we just need to put here the alpha A, the value, the cost value minus alpha B, which is the cost minus the salvage value divided by the years, and then the alpha X. And then just hit equals. Starts at, I would suggest to always start at year zero, and then hit equals. So end at, so it's asking for the first 3 years. So just put here 3 years. Ends at 3 years. Okay, so in your X value, these are the number of years. Year zero, year one, year two, and then year three. Now in your FX value here, in year zero, that's the first cost, and in year one, this is your book value, year two book value, year three book value. Now, how do we know the depreciation charge? Okay, so the depreciation charge is actually the book value, the cost minus the book value. So the first cost is 500,000. So if we will deduct it with a book value of 484,000, that's gonna be 16,000. Still the same. Book value in year one minus the book value in year two, 484,000 minus 468,000, that's still gonna be the same, 16,000. Book value in year two minus book value in year three, that's gonna be 16,000. So the answer is letter D, 16,000. Now you need to be careful with the question because sometimes it's gonna ask you for the total depreciation charge. I have an example for that. We're gonna tackle it later on. But first, let's move on to our second question. So a machine has a first cost of 13,000. and an estimated life of 15 years. The estimated value of 1,000. Using the straight line formula, find the annual depreciation charge. Okay, so still the same. Let me just go back to mode 1, make sure that it's in mode 1. Then again, we need to store in A the cost. So it's 13,000. Just save it in store A. Second is the value of our V is the cost divided minus the estimated value or the salvage value divided by the years. So that's gonna be 13,000 minus 1,000 divided by 15. Oh, sorry, I messed up. So 13,000 minus 1,000 divided by 15. So we have 800. So again, store it in your B and then just hit AC. Then go to mode 7 table. So again, alpha A, which is the cost, minus alpha B, which is the value of your actual cost minus the salvage value divided by the years. Then alpha X to get the value. Hit equals. So it's asking for the, sorry, it's asking for the annual depreciation charge. So the first year. So just starts at, again, year 0, ends at year 1 because it's asking the annual depreciation charge. Okay. So again, in year X value, that's your the number of years, year 0 and then year 1. Here is the first cost and here is the book value. Now again, to get the depreciation charge, you just need to deduct the first cost minus the book value. So 13,000 minus 12,200. So that's gonna be 800. So the book value is 800. So yeah, that's it guys on how to check for the depreciation charge. Now here in our next example, this is it's gonna be tricky. So here is an engine has a first cost of 450,000 and has an installation cost of 50,000. The estimated value is 50,000 after 10 years. Now determine the total depreciation after 7 years. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. It's asking for the total depreciation. So we're just gonna do the same process. Let me just go back to mode 1. All right. So again, here it's gonna be tricky because there's two given cost. So you can see for 150 and installation cost of 50. So no need to worry, guys. All you need to do is you just need to add 450,000 plus the installation cost. So that's gonna be our whole cost. So we have 500,000. Now again, we need to store it in our A, and then in our B value. So that's gonna be um, the first cost, including the installation cost of 450,000 plus 50,000. That's gonna be 500,000. Then minus our salvage value, 50,000. So we have 450,000 divided by 10. So we have 45,000. So shift control B. Let's save that in our B uh, value. Okay, so let's go to mode 7 and then still the same. Alpha A minus alpha B, then alpha X. So again, A is the, sorry, the cost of the item, the whole cost, which is 500,000, minus B, our B here is the 500,000 minus 50,000 divided by the years, which is 10. Then just need to hit equals. So here, the depreciation is asking for the question is asking for the total depreciation charge after 7 years. So again, we will start at year zero equals year seven. Then hit equals. All right. So as you can see, um, again in your x value, that's gonna be your the number of years: zero, year one, year two, year three, year four, year five, year six, year seven. And then here in your fx value, this is your the in year zero, that's your first cost, and then year one, salvage value, salvage value, salvage value. Okay, so the first cost is 500,000. Now, if we were gonna get the depreciation charge, we just need to deduct the book value minus the first cost minus the book value in year one. So 500,000 minus 455,000, that's gonna be 45,000. That's gonna be, yeah, 45,000. So since we have 45,000 and then it's asking for the whole 7 years, so all you need to do is you just need to get 45,000 times 7. So that's gonna be 315,000, which is A. So that's how you are going to get the total depreciation charge, and as well as if it's gonna ask you for what's the depreciation rate for a specific year. So, okay, let's move on to our next topic. So it's gonna be how to check the depreciation rate. Now, this is just very easy, guys. So what we are going to do right now is we need, or actually you can just use the formula, or you can also use the calculator. But it's just very easy. That's gonna be your total cost minus the salvage value divided by the number of years, and then the result divided by the first cost. So here, let's go back to mode one. So here, the salvage value is 200,000 minus the salvage value, which is 20,000. So we have 180,000 and then divided by the number of years. It's gonna be 10 years. Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to read the problem. So the factory equipment has an initial cost of 200,000. Its salvage value after 10 years is 20,000. As a percentage of initial cost, what's the straight line depreciation rate of the equipment? So it's asking for the rate. So again, what I did is 200,000 minus 20,000 divided by the years. We have here 18,000. So after the 18,000, you're gonna divide it again to the first cost, which is 200,000, then equals. So, and then times 100. So our depreciation rate is 9%. So let's move on to another example. A machine has an initial cost of 50,000 and a salvage value of 10,000 after 10 years. What is the straight line method of depreciation rate as a percentage of the initial cost? So again, guys, make sure it's in mode 1. Just key in 50,000. then minus the value of, I mean, the salvage value. So we have 40,000 divided by the years. So we have 4,000. Now again, we need to divide it in our first cost. So we have 50,000. So we have here 0.08. So that's going to be 8%. But in order to get that, this is multiply it by 100. So that's it, 8%. So that's how we are going to get the depreciation rate. Okay, now let's move on to our last two questions. So this is the book value. So an air conditioning unit was bought for 80,000 and the salvage value of 10,000 for 10 years. Using the straight line, determine the book value after 6 years. So it's still the same with the, I mean, with looking for the depreciation charge. So again, that's gonna be 80,000. We need to store it in our A. Shift store A, that's the cost. And then in our B, the value for the value, which is the cost minus the salvage value divided by the number of years. So just gonna have 80,000 minus 10,000. So that's gonna be 70 divided by 10 years. So we have 7,000. So store it in our B. All right. The next again is go to mode 7 table. All right. Again, alpha A, which is your first cost, minus alpha B, which is the result when you minus the cost. I mean, when the cost is deducted by the salvage value divided by the years, and then alpha X. Then just hit equals. Equals starts at again. I would suggest to start at year zero. Ends at, so it's asking for the book value after 6 years. So just put here 6, then hit equals, then equals. Okay. In year zero, again, in your x value, this is the number of years, and your fx, this is the first cost, and then after that, year one, year two is the book value. So since it's asking for the book value after 6 years, so you just need to go to sixth year. So here, this is the book value, 38,000. So that's gonna be letter C. So that's how you check for the book value. But here I have a little bit complicated um, problem. So a tax and duty-free importation of a 30 horsepower sand mill costs 360,000. The bank charges 5,000 for the brokerage and installation cost of 25,000. Other estimated, other incidental expenses amounted to 20,000. The salvage value of the mill is estimated to be 60,000 after 20 years. Find the appraisal value of the mill using a straight line depreciation at the end of 10 years. So if you looked at the problem, um, it's asking for the book value, the appraisal or book value after 10 years. Now we have a lot of given. We have the cost of 360,000, 25,000, 5,000, 20,000, and book value of 60,000 after 20 years. No need to worry, guys. This is just very easy. All you need to do is you just need to sum up all the charges to get the whole cost. So again, 360,000 plus 5,000 plus 25,000 plus 20,000. So we have four 410,000. So we're gonna store it in our A. So right now, what we are going to solve is what? Guess what? All right. What we are going to solve is for our B value. So again, for our V value, that's gonna be um, the whole cost minus the salvage value divided by the years. So we have 410,000 as the whole cost. So 410 minus, sorry, I think I messed up. 410 minus 60,000 equals 350,000 divided by 20 years. We have 1,000 17,500. So shift store B. Then after that, go to mode 7 table. So alpha A minus alpha B, then alpha X to get the value. Starts at year 0 and asking for at the end of 10 years. So ends at year 10. The seat equals and equal. Okay, so again, in your X value, these are the number of years, and your FX, the first cost in year 0, and then the rest are book values. So let's go to 10, year 10 here. So the book value in year 10 is 235,000. So that's it. That's how you check for the book value. So 235,000, that's letter D. So again, guys, just be more careful with the question. If it's gonna be total, you just need to multiply it by the number of years. Now, if it's giving you a lot of cost, you just need to add the all the cost to get the whole cost and solve it using the technique. So um, I'll be making again another video on how to check the depreciation charge and book value using the declining balance method and the double declining balance method. So please don't forget to subscribe to get more videos weekly. Thank you and have a great day to all of you. Goodbye.